welcome to Week and Geek, your new comics preview for June 20th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
I'm the Chris Brown.
And I'm Will Shulak.
So what do you got?
I'm going to lead off this week here with Walking Dead number 99. We are starting to lead headlong into that issue number 100. Some big, things happened in the last issue, or one major thing happened. There is, they've introduced the Hilltop. Rick and company are now going to start trying to work with them, and they're going to take out the threat Negan. Well, obviously that's going to boil to some sort of a head in issue 100. We just had a little battle with them in 98, and then now it's the calm before the storm here in issue 99. They're doing a little bit more relationship building, letting you see everyone, and how they're interacting, and certainly coupling everybody up a little bit. And then they're just going to tear that all down in the next issue, I'm guessing, and I'm wondering who's going to be left. Then I've got Planet of the Apes number 15, Monkeys. I like monkeys. This book's been great. I have finally started doing some catching up on it. I'm behind on this story arc, but I just caught up on the previous one, and I really enjoyed it. It's a fun book. They're doing some really, really cool stuff, and if you're not reading it and you're a Planet of the Apes fan, you should be. Then we've got Daredevil number 14, another book I'm catching up on here. This has been really cool. It's been just a really fun book is what I like about it. The artwork is great. They've taken Daredevil back to where he needs to be. They've referenced some of the things that came before, but are just sort of doing what they need to do now and taking a little bit of that weight off of Daredevil's shoulders. It's not as heavy a book as it had seemingly become. Then I have Dark Avengers number 176. This is the second part of the Dark Avengers stuff.
Used to be
it was Thunderbolts, and now it's Dark Avengers. They're trying to find their previous team that has been lost. Looks like Luke Cage, and after last issue said I'm out of here. So now we're going to see what's going on. Looks like the Man Thing's in this one, so maybe they found some of that team, or it looks like they were visiting the team where they're at. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this, and I'm sure it's only going to last for a little while before it goes back to Thunderbolts. But
yeah, all you people who are upset that they changed the title, just wait.
Exactly. And, it's a long tradition in Marvel anyway to change titles. They've always sort of done that. Then I have Ghostbusters number 10, Haunted America Part 2. They've gone from Detroit to New Orleans. Now in New Orleans. This book has been really fun, and I can only imagine with, kind of the voodoo history and all the fun stuff that haunts New Orleans, so to speak, that they can have a really, really fun story here.
That can be a spooky town.
Yep, absolutely. They've got, oh my God, was that just Michael Jackson? That's outstanding. I got a zombie Michael Jackson there.
Zombie thriller.
Little thriller action going. This book is having fun, and they do that. They throw little cameos in there and have some fun with their ghosts.
You think he'll start singing?
He might. I don't know why he wouldn't. I hope he does a little bit of this. And he gives the thriller dance. Then we've got the New Avengers 27. Another fun book. I've been enjoying this stuff with Bendis. We got a chick Iron Fist. Did Hope just become Iron Fist? I don't know what happened. I'm confused by the cover. I'm not even going to flip through that one. I'm just going to ponder that cover until I get to it. But I've really been enjoying that stuff, and I think AVX has been a good, fun book. Mm-hmm. Then I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Micro Series number 5. This is the Splinter story. It's got a great cover by David Peterson. All this stuff has been great. We got Shredder in here. These are little one-shots, just covering all the characters. And I think they got a Casey Jones one coming up next is the 6th issue. The art in this is really fantastic. And this is supposed to tell the, essentially like kind of an origin story for Splinter, I believe. Really fun stuff. I like what they're doing with the Ninja Turtles. Then we've got Grim Reaper number 2, a love story to die for. I was feeling a little in the last issue, I was feeling almost like a little Quantum Leap and a little Final Destination. Every time this guy jumps into a new body, that new body is destined to die. He's not going to live, and then he's going to jump into another one. And he ends up finding a woman who's experiencing the same curse. So kind of interesting. I really like Curtis Wiebe a lot. I think his stuff is really good. I think he's a strong writer. The first issue, while I liked it, I didn't think it was the best writing I've seen come out of him. And I loved Green Wake. I thought Green Wake was incredible, but it's different. It's not. We've seen him do horror in Green Wake. We're seeing him do this interesting historical fantasy with Peter Panzerfaust, and now this is something completely different. So I think the guy certainly has, some range, and I like that about his writing. So I'm going to give that a try.
Is it comedy at all?
It doesn't really feel like comedy, no.
It just looks silly.
The art does look a little silly, but I wasn't really feeling strong comedic beats from it. I mean, it's not super heavy. There's a little bit of light moments, but mostly just pushes through. Then we've got Rebel Blood here, number 4. I did not get a chance to read this one yet. Right away, I started reading Walking Dead, and I started to read my top pick, which we'll get to soon enough. But obviously, I love Riley Rossmo. I think this has been a really, really fun book. I think this is the last issue. Was it only 4 issues, or is it a 6-parter?
I think so.
So yeah, this should be the end here. Yep, the end. I guess we're gonna get some answers here. Looks like he's got his ex-wife on the cover, and there was some flashbacks and weirdness going on throughout the story. It's been a fun zombie tale. Zombie mutant monster animals, attacking and eating people. Been kind of cool, and it fits Riley's artwork very well, and I dig that. So that takes me through the bulk of my stack. What are you looking at here, Will?
Well, my first pick is Before Watchmen, issue 1, The Comedian.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not really excited about the whole thing. I picked up the first issue they did with...
Well, you like Darwin Cook.
Yeah, Minuteman, that's why I picked up Darwin Cook. And I like Brian Azzarello, and this J.G. Jones artwork seems okay. I'm gonna read it. I don't think I'm probably gonna stick with it. I really like Brian Azzarello, and that's most likely why I'm doing it.
Okay, fair enough.
And it looks pretty cool. Comedian kicks.
Yeah, it's a good cover, sure.
And then my next book this week is Avengers vs. X-Men, round 6, issue 6. It's pretty much issue 6. I was a teeny bit confused what happened with the last week, but then Mr. Brown explained to me that, can I spoil what happened?
That's fine.
Issue?
That's fine. People should be caught up at this point.
The X-Men, they absorbed the Phoenix Force, and now they're all shiny and cool and red and gold, as you can see on the
That's what happens with the
cover.
Phoenix Force. You're suddenly shiny and cool.
In the art, it changed. I still like it. I was really digging Romita
Was that Oliver
Jr.
Claypool?
Yeah,
Yep.
It is. And it's pretty cool. You see there's the front
I like
page.
his art.
There's Magneto and Professor X. That's
Yep.
gonna be amazing. I haven't really read a lot of it, but it looks like it should be fun.
I like AVX so far. It's
Yeah.
a superhero, punch 'em out fest, and that's really all I need out of it.
And the last issue certainly took a turn that nobody was expecting.
Yep.
A lot of people have made predictions about this book, and clearly they're not taking it quite in the direction everybody was expecting. And a lot of people who might have been having a problem with John Romita Jr.'s art, I personally love it. I know a lot of people love it, but some people don't.
I like it.
This one you've got, I think it's Olivier Copiel, that's how you pronounce his
Okay.
name, who's a very, very different style, much
I'm
more
a clumsy
realistic.
white guy, Mike.
It still looks.
But great stuff. Great artwork.
Well, and that
And actually, this is Hickman, I think.
Yeah, so it's bound to be some solid writing.
I think Hickman's the one issue that he did before this, I think, was the best issue of the series.
This happens to be the bulk of my stack.
So we turn it over to Mike Ortiz.
Yes.
So the bulk of my stack starts off with Green Lantern Corps number 10. This is the trial of John Stewart. Yet again, isn't he on trial a lot?
All the
Poor
time.
John Stewart. This is part of the Alpha
And
Lanterns.
sure, they're always trying the black guy.
You think they'd catch on to that? You think they'd be a little more sensitive to that? Why is Kilowog not on trial? Why not Guy Gardner? Why is it the black man? Because the Guardians are little blue racists, that's why. So,
Guy Gardner.
They're always trying to keep John Stewart down.
Yep.
Guy Gardner, since he's a ginger,
But,
I thought they'd want to put him on trial a lot. Probably.
He's got no soul. They're not worried about him.
So yeah, it's the Guardians and the Alpha Lanterns. If you've been following what's going along in the Green Lantern books, the Guardians clearly have some sort of plan. That plan seems to involve getting rid of the Green Lanterns, which seems to be kind of counterintuitive, but hey, hopefully it'll all pay off.
But interesting.
Yeah. So this is a trial issue. It looks like regular Lanterns fighting Alpha Lanterns. Probably a breakout. I always like trials.
Sure.
Next up is Unwritten number 38. This book's taken kind of an interesting turn. They've actually jumped to the future. They had that 10-part storyline where there's kind of where things sort of paid off. Now they've jumped several years in the future. The story that they're telling seems to be done.
Okay.
Tommy Taylor is now kind of become a sort of a religious figure. There are cults popping up to him. The vampire character wrote a memoir book detailing all of the events of what happened. A memoir book that happens to be titled Unwritten. An undercover cop is checking out one of the cults because a lot of Tommy's fans have been disappearing. And this cop's going undercover with one of the cults to see what's up. And this is continuing that storyline. I think that's actually really an interesting way. I mean, this book continues to kind of keep you on your toes by going in different directions. I mean, they haven't spoiled how it ends. Ultimately, we know that it's a relatively happy ending, although some of the characters they've not mentioned, so we don't know if they make it out yet. But really interesting stuff. Really interesting way to do this. Next up is another AVX tie-in, Uncanny X-Men number 14. Kieran Gillen has been doing a great job on this, and this has got artwork by Dustin Weaver from the Shield series. I wish he would actually finish the Shield series instead of drawing the X-Men, but he's a fantastic artist, and it looks like here we're going to get some more on the revived sort of new take on Mr. Sinister.
Good thing they got that red diamond on his head, because he looks an awful lot like Dracula, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Looks kind of like the Mandarin.
But
a little bit.
I've enjoyed Gillen's take on this. This artwork
He's doing
by
great
Dustin
stuff.
Weaver is fantastic. I don't know how Mr. Sinister is tying into Avengers vs. X-Men. Maybe it really isn't, and they just want to sell more copies with that banner across the top. I don't know. I'm still picking it up.
He's got Sinister on it. It'll sell.
Yeah.
Is there ever an in the can X-Men?
What do you mean?
Uncanny? Instead out of the can?
There's never a canny X-Men.
A canny X-Men. Not yet. Give it time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Once they run out of titles. Next up is Winter Soldier number 7, Ed Brubaker and Michael Lark. I realized this week that I somehow missed issue 6.
Oh.
So I'll have to pick that up as well and read that because I have no idea what's going on in here. But it's more Winter Soldier, Black Widow. Absolutely fantastic.
That's great. Michael Lark does awesome stuff.
Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Winter Soldier. Next up is an odd one. It's Chew number 27. This is the second time Chew number 27 has been mentioned on this show. A while back, Chew jumped ahead to I don't remember between what issues to issue
between
27.
18 and 19, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and they published issue number 27
because they needed it to jump into the future.
Yep, it jumped into the future, and now this is the issue published in its actual chronological order with a new cover. I'm hoping that as you go through it and compare it to the other one, you might see some slight differences. I don't know.
There's stuff at the end.
There's
a script book in there.
There's a script book. There's actually some other stuff in here. It looks like an additional little story. Yep. So it's a little add-on plus some script pages, and we'll see if there's any differences between this one and the other one. But it was a fun idea, a fun experiment that they did. I actually remember reading that and kind of understanding what was going on, sort of.
I felt like that was the point at which we needed to jump in to really get that glimpse. I mean, they very much approached it like a movie. They needed us to flash forward just so we could grasp what was coming.
So yeah, and this is called the Second Helping Edition. So Chew number 27, the second time. Next up, one of my favorites, Casanova by Matt Fraction and Gabriel Ba. This is the final issue of Aricia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure. This is a great book. There's dimension hopping. They found out the secret identity of, I can't remember his name, Zeno, the guy who's the big villain, and they were hopping around all the alternate dimensions, assassinating him before he had a chance to become a supervillain. But
interesting.
Apparently, one of them got away and is about to destroy the entire.
Perhaps that's why he became the supervillain.
And is about to destroy the entire multiverse. There's a great sound effect. Well, not sound effect. A great panel here that just says "Sound of Spatio-Temporal Holocaust." Mm-hmm. Only Matt Fraction could write that stuff. But fabulous artwork by Gabriel Ba. This is a really strange, way out there.
His artwork's incredible.
And it's been one of my favorites ever since it was at Image. Next up, Hellblazer. This is Peter Milligan with Simon Bisley on the art chores this time, which is always a nice fill-in. It looks like we've got some some werewolves in here. They wrapped up the storyline where Constantine goes to hell to save his sister and defeat his evil half. And now it looks like we're jumping into an all-new story. This looks like it's actually a one-shot with Constantine versus werewolves.
And the paper's not shiny. It's the regular paper.
It's the last of the non-shiny paper books.
Didn't you like it?
I like regular paper, but I haven't been reading Hellblazer. But I miss real paper, certainly.
Yep. So that's the bulk of my stack, so to speak.
All right, which I believe brings me to my top pick. I'm looking at, we just talked about Chew. John Layman is obviously a guy we like on the show here. I got Mars Attacks #1 by IDW. It's written by John Layman, drawn by John McCree. It's based on the old, trading card series, which the movie was based on as well. Yeah, there are 55 covers, one that matches each card from the original trading card series, and then there was a couple of variants. This book looks like fun. This is as good as I've ever seen John McCree's artwork look. I mean, it really looks just tip-top. Looks like there's little chapter breaks in there where you get like a cover, like just a little trading card and then tells the rest of the story. He's trying to tell a story from the cards, it looks like. And I think that's kind of interesting. And I like a funny alien story. I liked Xenoholics. I liked the more serious take with Saucer Country. And now here I have Mars Attacks, and I'm pretty excited about that. Now along with that, though, they did do this sort of interesting package, and I couldn't help myself. They did a box set, which is made to look like the trading card box, and then you've got all 55 covers plus 2 other exclusive variants in there. It is a little expensive, but it's really, really neat. It's got the Topps logo on it as well, and again, it's got all the 55 of those covers. So just kind of a neat, fun little thing to have, and I really do think it's going to be a fun story. I'm curious to see where John Layman is able to take this. And IDW, I think, is doing some cool things right now. They were doing great stuff with all of their adapted properties, as we've said, their licensed stuff. Their Ghostbusters has been great. They're doing a great job with like the Star Trek and Doctor Who crossover. And then now, here they are adapting a trading card set. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it.
Interesting stuff.
In that box, does it come with the actual comic?
Yeah, it's got 55 copies of the comic in it.
57. Maybe.
Or 57, yeah. 57 copies, all 55 covers, plus 2 variant covers that are exclusive to the set. So what do you got?
Well, my top pick for this week is Saga Chapter 4. I really like this book. Sometimes it seems like it can go like either fast or slow for me. I don't know what to say. It's really cool. Basically, there are these 2 planets that are fighting, and these 2 soldiers fall in love, and they have a baby, and they're trying to escape, and some weird little twists happen along the way.
That last issue was great, how everyone was so concerned about these monsters that inhabit this planet.
And they're little kids, like dead little kids.
Well, yeah, that particular group that we ran into was dead little kids, but it's all the dead that have been killed on that planet. The people that live there can't leave. So kind of interesting, and you come to find out they're not all necessarily as terrifying as you'd think. Yeah. Interesting stuff. I really liked it. I think Fiona Staples' artwork is incredible, and Brian K. Vaughan's a stellar writer.
It's been rated M for mature. I haven't really understood that, but in this issue I did.
I think it's all been pretty mature, which I think where some of your confusion comes from on some of it.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that you could probably read it at various stages and get something different out of it.
It's really
There's been a little gore, and hints of nudity, so it's probably just
this
more precaution.
issue is more racy. If you look at some of the things in here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well,
I'm okay. My mom lets me read stuff like that, so.
Mine too. Well,
well, that's your dad.
Yeah, my dad more. That is my stack, Mike.
My top pick is a nostalgic one. This was kind of tough because I probably would have picked Saga, but since I can't, I'm going with Next Men Aftermath number 44. The End.
I like how you had to slide your bitterness in there about Saga. That's how I'm bitter when I don't get to pick it.
I'm sorry.
Well, Saga, you can just assume that Saga's going to be a pick whenever it comes out, but it's just a battle. Normally it's a fight between me and Chris as to who gets it. But this week the guest gets it.
If I didn't put it as my top pick, would you have been mad?
No, he would have ended up having it.
Well, no,
he would have been in your stack, yeah.
Not my top pick.
Regardless, I am going to go with Next Men out of nostalgia. I love this book. When it came out, it says the end. I don't know if this is the end of
question mark exclamation points like the end.
But
maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
There have been a lot up to this point. There's been a lot of kind of weird melding of times. There have been multiple versions of people. Time somehow broke.
I think that's the best way to make it work, though.
And
the way he revisited after so many years. Yeah. I mean, that was the only and best way to make it work.
So in this issue, we will finally understand, what's been going on in this particular wrap-up series. But it's been good stuff. Great John Byrne artwork. He's kind of back to form. And honestly, it looks like it has an ending that is very appropriate and kind of takes us back to where it all began. This has been a nice, long, 20-year journey.
Yeah.
And if this is
did
actually...
it start in 92?
Something like that. It was after Image. That's when the Legend books all started, so sometime after that. If this is the actual end, I'll be sad to see it go, but I'm glad that he finally got a chance to wrap it up. If he comes back to it, I'll be back on board because this is good stuff. This is really one of the best things Byrne's ever done. I know he gets a lot of flack for some of the stuff that he's said and done over the years, but at the end of the day, this
is
really
John Byrne as a person. I don't think anyone's ever questioned his.
A lot of people have
have
given him a lot of crap over how his art has evolved over the years, and certainly he writes in a style that's not quite as modern as a lot of writers. But this is still a great book. If you love old-fashioned comic books, this is one of them. And hopefully it's not the end, but if it is, I think it's good that he's getting a chance to wrap up the story.
Absolutely. Yeah, I always enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to that ending as well. And with that is your Week in Geek.